The School of Professional Psychology newsletter presents the Master Spotlight featuring Rebecca Graber. Don't forget to like, comment, and interact with the newsletter staff. Enjoy! Okay, thank you. This is the Master Spotlight, and today we are going to talk to Rebecca Graber. Thank you for joining me, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome.
Yes, because we wanted to get to know some of the master students because the teachers really don't get to talk to us or know anything about us. So this is kind of a way for us to let them get to know how we feel about the classes, how we feel about the program, what's our struggles, stuff like that. So I just want to ask a little bit. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so background on me. I have my bachelor's in elementary education. So I taught for 6 years prior to coming to ABA. I ended up getting my learning behavior specialist certificate while teaching, which allowed me in the state of Illinois that I was teaching at the time, allowed me to teach special education, which I was super excited about. And that kind of introduced me to the realm of behavior. So my classroom was, we called it a social emotional classroom. So most of my kids were diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, bipolar disorder, oppositional defiant disorder. I guess they were kind of like stereotyped as like the bad kids or like the naughty kids or the behavior kids of the school. And that's kind of where I was introduced to the whole ABA world, and I was like, I want more of this. I need more of this. And then I became more interested in the behaviors versus like the actual teaching academics. And I was like, I need to go into ABA instead of like teaching now.
So are you married? Do you have any kids?
I am engaged. I know, yeah. I'm married at the end of May, which is very exciting. Yeah. I do not have any biological children, but I do have a stepdaughter who is 6 years old, and she is just full of sass and love. She's amazing. Her name is Savannah. I'm actually in her bedroom right now, hanging out. But yeah, I have 2 cats. I currently live in Florida. I moved from Illinois, which is where I taught for 6 years. Oh, okay. I live in Florida, which is so much nicer. I'm in the sunshine today. It was 88 degrees today. It was beautiful. So, yeah.
All right. So you have any special interests or hobbies that you like to do besides this?
Well, in all my free time that I don't have, I like to bake. I'm not one for cooking, but I like to make sweets, cookies, apple crisp, banana bread, stuff like that. And then I really enjoy, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I really enjoy going to the gym as well. So right. I guess
that goes together, because then if you eat a lot of sweets, then you have to work out.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened. So I really like going to the gym. My fiance and I go probably like 5 or 6 days a week. In the morning before I go to work. It's kind of our schedule. And when we don't go to the gym, we typically go on walks in our neighborhood. We have several ponds, and we've seen alligators and turtles and all different kinds of little creatures in our neighborhood. So.
All right. That sounds nice as far as the sunshine, but the alligator, I don't know.
I haven't been attacked yet, so that's good.
Oh yeah, that's good. My mother actually moved there about 4 years ago, and she loves it herself, from New York.
Yeah,
she loves it. So she raised with, oh, y'all having snow today? Well, it's about 70-something degrees here.
That's me calling my mom. I'm like, hey mom, what's the weather like? She's like, 10 inches, and I'm like, oh, it's real sunny out. I'm getting a tan right now. She's like, oh, stop it.
I know, right? Yeah, she does that to me too. So also just wanted to ask about you already said, why you chose ABA. I had to get into ABA. So, but as far as the Chicago school, what made you choose them? Did you have like other schools in mind before here and stuff like that?
Well, not really. So I went into searching for a school by looking for schools that offered fully online classes for ABA. I knew at that point when I started that I wanted to move states and kind of across the country. So I wanted to have something where I was able to continue my schooling online throughout that time. And also the school psychologist that I worked with, she went through the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. So once I talked to her and she's like, it's amazing. I love it. Like it was wonderful. And I thought very highly of her and I was like, okay, I think this is where I'm meant to be.
Oh, all right. That's good. What would you say is your biggest hurdle with the program?
I think being able to balance working full time, having a life and a family, and then also doing multiple classes at the same time. All the readings, the discussions, and just being able to handle all of that throughout the week is probably the most difficult thing for me. I really like to socialize and I really like to procrastinate. So kind of like finding where everything fits into the schedule and can get done on time. And I really value like good grades. And so my goal is to finish with a 4.0. And right now I've maintained my 4.0. And so I'm just like, I should graduate this summer. So I'm like, I need to maintain my 4.0. Like it's do or die now. Like I have to make enough time to put in the effort to do what I gotta do and finish.
You're almost done this summer? Oh my goodness. I don't know what that feels like.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
I feel like it's never coming, but I'm so happy for you.
It'll come and you'll be like, wow, I did that. Like I've been working hard for a long time.
Wow. But you made it through, you're almost done. This gives me hope. Yes.
You too can do this.
Yes. Because there's so many people that I've came in contact with, like different students, and they just not here anymore. Like when I first started, it was like a couple girls that we used to talk to about what was going on. Hey, did you like that class? What about that assignment? That's crazy. I don't have nobody to talk to. And then my last person, now he's gone too. So I'm trying to stay strong.
Yeah, stay strong. I had a couple people in some of my classes like going for certifications instead of like the full master's degree. And so I've had people kind of like coming and going too. And I'm like, I've made really close friends. And then they're like, oh, see ya. And I'm like, okay. Hopefully we'll run across each other someday. So yeah, I totally get that. But keep pushing, girl. You got it.
All right. Sounds like you almost there, so I think I can do it too. I'm going to stay. So another question wanted to ask was, what was your favorite class going through this since you're almost at the end so far, and why?
That is really hard because I feel like I've had several classes that I liked and I learned a lot in. But my favorite that's even tough. My favorite all time, I would just say, is my practicum. Because I feel like learning, like being able to interact regularly with I've had the same professor for every practicum so far. And I only have like 2 or 3 left. So it's been really nice, her getting to know me, getting to know my clients, because I've been presenting on the same client for the weeks that I've been doing it. And then getting to know other people and their kids, and then having feedback and being able to offer feedback on a professional level. I think is really cool because you don't always have that. Like sometimes I'm like, I think I'm doing a good job, but I mean, anybody, am I doing a great job? Like, You just like that reassurance, and then having other people come up with ideas, and you're like, oh, I never would have thought of that. And then you can go and move forward and try new things that other people suggest. I think that's probably been my favorite. Also, shout out to Dr. Arnault. She's amazing.
That's your practicum teacher?
Yes.
Okay.
I absolutely love her. She's the most supportive professor I've ever had, coming from an education teaching background. She's the bomb.com. So shout out to Dr. Arnold.
All right, Dr. Arnold. I haven't met you yet, but
I hope you do sometime, because you will love her too.
All right. Well, that's good to know that, we have some teachers that are there and will help you and back you up like that. Because I've did experience some teachers that like that as well here. So that's another good thing I love about this school and this program.
Mm-hmm.
So on the other opposite end, what was your most challenging class so far and why?
Okay. Well, I already know the first one pops up so fast in my mind. Scientific writing. I thought was going to ruin my GPA. It didn't, thank goodness, but I don't like writing at all. I feel like I've learned so much over the past year and a half with writing and developing my writing, because I used to write, I swear, like I was in like third grade, and I can do math up and down, like science, but writing, something about writing, I'm just not a great writer. So that was really, really hard, doing research stuff and finding articles. And
so the research class, so it's kind of, that research class was hard too. I think it's 3 of them, right? We're gonna take 3 advanced research. Okay.
Yeah, so anything that is just difficult for me. But I do have to admit that classes that are difficult and the ones that kind of challenged me to look into like writings and be able to like look at something and narrow it down to like the specifics in like a 16-page document, just like know what I'm looking for, has helped me to be where I'm at today and be able to like not be as overwhelmed when I'm looking over like studies and stuff like that. So I think it's helped me, but it was very overwhelming and scary, and I wanted to cry all the time.
Well, what's the trick? Because when I look at a research paper, I have to read a lot before I get to what the meat and potatoes is about. What is your trick that you learned?
Okay. My trick is, number one, finding out what the purpose of the study is. Once you find out the purpose, that kind of gives you like the context clues to figure out the rest of it. So finding out the purpose, and then what interventions they're using to either increase or decrease behaviors, depending on the study. And then it breaks it down into like the methods they use, the participants they use, and like then the graph. I really like graphs. I have a very much like mathematical brain. So like being able to read what it says, like how the intervention went for each child, and then looking at the graph and being able to see it on there helps me a lot understand like, oh, this didn't go well here, session whatever, because whatever. And just like being able to have that visual with also like reading it, that has helped me a lot. And then like the last paragraph where it gives you like a rundown of everything that like happened is always a good paragraph to read.
Oh, okay. So I always, when I read the introduction, I thought that tells you more, but it's really the last part that tells you more. Okay.
The first part, like before it actually gets into the study, I feel like kind of gives you like some information, but not enough information to really understand like what's going on. Like at the bottom, it'll tell you like after the study was complete, if they did like a follow-up and how that went and how the maintenance of the program was going. And yeah, I think that last part is more valuable for you.
Did you get help during the scientific writing? Did you just figure it out on your own? How did you overcome that?
I think the way the class was laid out is it was very repetitive. So it gave a study and then it had you break it down into parts of the study. And then the next week it gave you a new study and it says, okay, break it down into the methods, who are the participants, and it had you break it down over and over and over until it was almost like a habit where it was like I could look at a study and I know exactly where to find the participants. I could scroll through real fast and know exactly where to find the interventions that they were using. And so it just became a habit just from doing the same thing repeatedly over and over and over and over until it was like drilled in my brain, like, okay, this is how I look through a study and find the important information, and then this information might not be as important to me.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us, because most of us that are still in there, where I have a lot more to go, that they might, benefit from that. From that trick and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do not give up. Don't be overwhelmed with all the reading or opening a document and seeing that it's 21 pages long and it's just like you like give up before you even get started. It will get easier. It just takes a little bit of practice.
Yeah. I'm gonna start practicing that then. So I would ask, let's go on to, what research are you interested in the most, and like what you did your research paper on?
I did mine. I have a client that engages in SIB, so self-injurious behavior, and it's in the form of biting himself. So I chose to do my intervention on decreasing self-injurious behavior. And then, of course, you have to do like a preference assessment, like to determine what he's interested in, and a functional analysis for why he's engaging in the behavior. And it had multiple functions, which made it difficult because part of it was for attention, part of it was for escape, part of it was automatic reinforcement. So I think the most, my personal favorite is like decreasing behaviors that are less preferred. So like biting yourself, or like aggression, grabbing, biting others. Like that is what I'm probably most interested in. So I created a way to ask for him to ask for help using sign language, because he's nonverbal. He uses pecs to communicate. So I guess I should say he's non-vocal. He doesn't speak out loud, but he communicates through his PEX board. And then he does some sign language. So he's able to ask for help because a lot of his behavior was happening while he was on the iPad, and it was like on an ad, and he didn't know how to get out of the ad. So we wanted someone to kind of help him. So I taught him help in sign language, and then I implemented a DRO for if he goes 10 minutes without biting himself, then he gets a reinforcer that he chooses. And right now they're all edibles because that's the only thing I found that was reinforcing for him. And he's actually on the second phase of that, which is 15-minute intervals instead of 10-minute intervals. And he's doing amazing with it. So
great.
Yeah, he's decreased his SIB a whole lot to like 0.
Wow.
So, I know.
Yes.
I know. And I think, thank you. I think at his highest since I've had him was like 46. Whoa. So he's sitting right now at 0. So it has been at 0 for 7 days straight at this point. So
okay.
Yes, he's doing big things.
Yes, because the behaviors are kind of like sometimes what motivates people to want to do this work, because him biting himself can cause a whole lot of more other things that can hurt him. Infection in his hands and his mouth, stuff like that. So that's great. Yeah. Well, I wanted to end on let's say what you enjoy most about this program. We took through the hardest things, the favorite things, but I wanted to end on what do you enjoy about this whole program that you've been through since you've almost coming to an end?
I think I've thoroughly enjoyed the staff and the students that I've been able to work with. I've had nothing but amazing professors that are super understanding, and they actually want to get to know you as a person, and they reach out to you if like something's out of the norm. I know in one class I didn't turn something in because I read the turn-in date wrong, and my professor reached out to me and they're like, this isn't like you, is everything okay? And I was just like, wow, like we've never met before in person. Like you see a picture of me about this big on the computer next to my name. It's like, you don't know who I am as a person, but to like reach out and like see if everything's okay, because that wasn't normal for me. Like it really touched me. And I think that even like having people like you who I've shared classes with, and just people that you come into your life in this program, and they're just like super supportive and super sweet, and you're able to talk to them even if once a month or once a day or like whatever, and just feel like someone's got your back and they're there with you, and be able to feel that support is something I think that I've really appreciated in my time in the program, because I just wasn't expecting that as an online class. I wasn't expecting to make friends. I wasn't expecting the professors to really care about me because they don't see me in person. So it's like, I'm just another name. But like, I completely feel the opposite. And I feel like this program's been amazing and everyone's been super supportive. And I definitely would recommend it to someone interested in ABA and wanting to make a difference in other people's lives. I can't say enough good things. I can't one bad thing except for that scientific writing class was hard. But aside from that, no, everything has just been really, really good. The people are really what make you continue to push. And it's been awesome like getting to know everybody.
Is there anything that you would have done differently to add or take away from the experience that you had?
I think the only thing I would have done differently so far is to I probably make more of a connection with more people. I connected with people that I was in groups with, that I was like forced to connect with. Like I was partnered up, or I was in a group, or I had to choose a partner, and I was like, hey, I don't know anybody, can I be your partner? Like those kind of situations, the uncomfortable situations that you're kind of thrown into, like in an online class. You're like, hey, you're a familiar name, do you want to be my partner? Like I would reach out to more people just because, and not because it was like, you need to find a partner, like 3, 2, 1, go. So I wish I just would have reached out to more people and formed more relationships.
Well, maybe if they would have had like maybe groups to where master students can go and talk to each other about how they are doing in the class, or if anybody needed help and not understanding in the class, or something on a regular basis that you could join if you wanted to on that week, or you didn't to, that might have helped a little bit. Okay.
Because we're all over the country, we're all over the world, so it's like you can't meet up at Starbucks and be like, hey, you want to grab some hot chocolate or some coffee? Like everything has to be online through Zoom or on the phone or through email or text or whatever. But yeah, it would be nice to have an outside way to connect with other people.
Yeah, because I think that's how we was paired up in a group for class, and that's how we met and started talking and stuff like that. So that's how it's been for me as well. That's my experience of being grouped with people. So I think when they came out with this newsletter thing, I was just like, maybe this will force me to get to know more people and stuff like that. So that's one thing I would add as well.
You should start a group. Not that you don't have enough going on right now, but if you find an additional time in your schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it might help because I mean, how many semester terms you have now? 2 more terms, 3 more terms left?
I have like 2 or 3 more terms.
2 or 3 more terms. I can't wait to know what that feels like.
Great.
No, but I'm happy. I'm happy for you, man. You're making it through there. You're almost done, and I'm glad that you've had a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it. I know it's a little bit late for y'all who don't know. It's a little bit late that we're doing this interview because we got busy lives.
Yes, we do. That's what, hence the hair. Like this is
Oh,
not
you look
your normal
beautiful,
look.
girl. You look beautiful. All right. So thank you so much for talking to me, and I will see you in the next class.
Of course. Have a good night. Thanks for having me.
You too. I mean, no problem. You was great. I want to thank my lovely guest, Rebecca Graver, and don't forget to like, comment, and interact with the newsletter staff. Good night.